Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Hope your health and strength is good. What? And today is what? January the 28th? The month is almost over with them. Look. Look. GoldenEye proves that nostalgia is dead. GoldenEye proves that nostalgia is dead. Look, Rare Studios over at Xbox should have rebuilt GoldenEye in a Call of Duty format. Probably using the Call of Duty engine. I mean, using the Unreal Engine 5. They should have rebuilt GoldenEye in a Call of Duty format where it's 6-on-6 and you're playing against people all across the world and you got your own screen to yourself. The game should have been rebuilt and using the Unreal Engine 5 and bring some more real, keep the sounds effects the same, but bring some more realism to the weapons, to the character themselves, bring some life into the environment, improve the light effects, shadow effects, bring some life into the water like how Batman Arkham Knight is at the dam. Just improve everything. They should have rebuilt that game from the ground up and bring it up to Call of Duty standards to where people can do a 6 versus 6 in a GoldenEye and then improve the map. So what GoldenEye in the state that it is right now, it proves that nostalgia is dead and that going backwards in video games is really stupid. Okay? Rare should have rebuilt the game, and they should have looked at Nintendo and said, look, we're going to rebuild this game from the ground up. You need a powerful console to run this game, and we're not going to remove any content from this game. That's what they should have said, but they never did it. Okay? They caved in to pressure. They should have told Nintendo straight to their faces, we're going to rebuild this game from the ground up. You need a powerful console to run this game. And no, we are not going to remove any content from this game once we rebuild it. That's what they should have. That's what Rare should have done, but they never did it. So, to release GoldenEye right now in the state that it is on the Switch and on the Xbox One, this shows you that nostalgia is dead. Especially when the screen you're playing online and the screen splits in four. The screen splits in four. You got one person here, one person here, one person here, one person there. It shows that nostalgia is completely dead. So Rare should have rebuilt the game from the ground up until and then probably use the Unreal Engine 5 to do it. And they probably would have got a better result. So I'm seeing the reactions on YouTube right now and I'm laughing because I told people 2 weeks ago that GoldenEye on the Switch is going to be boring. Who's laughing now? So they should have just rebuilt the game. Look, and if you bring the Wii U now into the equation, just take GoldenEye the way it is. GoldenEye is supposed to be played like how Call of Duty Ghost and Black Ops 2 does on the Wii U. They should have put that game on the Wii U too, on the Wii U, you know, but they didn't. But it just shows that nostalgia is dead, man, and they should have rebuilt the game from the ground up. Improve a lot of things. The levels, the environments, the light, the weather conditions, the lighting effects, you know, the different weather effects, all that. The character models. Improve the weapons, keep the sounds effect the same, you know, and then leave the music alone, and then probably make the proximity mines more explosives, you know, and then go on from there, you know. But other than that, man, you know, they should have rebuilt the game from the ground up and take it from there, you know, because we're in 2023 right now, you know, and you know, you got online multiplayer. They could have done like how you got a team deathmatch, battle royale. You could have had a they could have put like a search and what's that? A search and destroy inside GoldenEye. They could have put everything that you see Call of Duty and Battlefield does. That's what GoldenEye really needed. So what GoldenEye showed me, that in the state that it is right now, that nostalgia is completely dead. And then going backwards in video games is completely stupid. So Rare should have rebuilt this game from the ground up and utilize the true power of the Xbox Series X, and then go on from there, you know. And they probably would have a better result with it, you know. They're probably slapping themselves like, what were we thinking? We should have rebuilt this game from the ground up, you know. It can be done, you know. It can be done. So that's what needs to happen. This also brings the Avengers into the equation too, because the reason why the Avengers is failing too is because it's your freedom of movement. Look, when WB made the Avengers, right? They gave when they made it for the PC and the PlayStation 3. They gave everybody the blueprint, the schematics, the layout, the diagram, and said, okay, going forward, if you're going to make a superhero game, this is the format that it needs to be in, right? Okay, the Batman Arkham series followed that diagram. They had success. Insomniac Games now with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales followed that diagram, or the blueprint. They had success. The Avengers now from Crystal Dynamics, they went against it, and now they're paying the price. Okay, so it just shows you that going backwards in video games is stupid. And the format that the Avengers is in right now, that format might have worked on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 based on the hardware limitation. But when it comes to the Xbox One, PS4, and Xbox Series X, PS5, you need to go open world. So Crystal Dynamics didn't follow the blueprint, and now they're paying the price for it. So you know, WB Games gave everybody the layout and gave everybody the map and the blueprint and the schematics and the diagram. Okay, like, okay, if you're going to make a superhero game, this is the format that it needs to be in. The Batman Arkham series followed that blueprint. They had success. Insomniac Games with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales followed that blueprint. They had success. Crystal Dynamics went against it, and now they're suffering. So going backwards in video games is stupid, and nostalgia is completely dead. GoldenEye showed that nostalgia is completely dead. GoldenEye needs to be in a Call of Duty format, okay, to maintain some relevancy in 2023 and going forward. Rare needs to take that game back to the drawing board and rebuild it from the ground up. You know, take the game as it is, but change a lot of things on it. You know, and probably use the Unreal Engine 5 or whatever engine they plan to use, but put it in a Call of Duty style format type of game, and they'll have a better result. But in the state that it is now, nah. We did that style of play back in the N64 days when there was no internet, you know, and it worked for that time. But in 2023 and going forward, first-person shooters, they need to be in a Call of Duty format, or a Battlefield format, or a Gears of War format, you know, going forward, you know, and that's about it, man. Going forward in 2023, you know, so yeah, to survive, you know, you got to follow the blueprint, you know, to success, so to speak. And Crystal Dynamics, when it comes to the Avengers, if they would have followed what DC Universe did, they would have much success, okay? Because in DC Universe, you can fly from the ground to the sky, fly and land on top of the building, fly around the buildings, even through the buildings, take the warp, go to Metropolis, fly all over the place, fly across water and all that. In the Avengers, You can't do that. You're limited. You can't fly. You can't land on top of a building. You can't fly to the cloud. You can't fly all the way up to the sky and do a free fall. You can't fly around no buildings. The Hulk can't jump up no buildings. So the game is in a bad state. That's why the Avengers right now is struggling. It's the freedom of movement. When it comes to GoldenEye now, it's not in a Call of Duty format to where you can do a 6 versus 6, you know, or a 10 versus 10 or 8 versus 8. It's not there. So yeah, nostalgia is completely dead, man. And I was actually laughing when I saw GoldenEye, when I saw this thing on how it runs on the Switch and the Xbox Series X. I was laughing. I said, I'm thinking to myself, like, Rare can do better than this. They can do better than this. They have to rebuild that game from the ground up. That format that it's in, it's dead. It needs to be in a Call of Duty format, you know, to going forward to stay relevant, you know. But if it stays like that with only 4 people just playing, come on, that can't work in 2023 and going forward, man. In today's gaming world, you know, you got to go. It's all about mass, it's multiplayers, open world type games that we're in now. So yeah, the old ways of video games are dead, and nostalgia is dead. You know, and this is why I was good. This is why when I was talking about the Wii U and the Virtual Console, how Nintendo was trying to hold the video game industry up by creating the Switch and not working on the Virtual Console. So nostalgia is dead, man. It's completely dead. And GoldenEye needs to be in a Call of Duty format. It's in first-person shooter. It's in first-person shooter mode. That's cool. But now you need to add that Call of Duty aspect. If I'm doing a 6 versus 6, everybody has their own screens. Okay? And we don't see that screen splitting in 4 type stuff. Everybody have their own screen, their own radars, their own maps, and they're just going at it, you know. So yeah, it does show me that nostalgia is really dead, man, and that going backwards in video games is completely dead. And Rare should have rebuilt the game from the ground up. They should have they should have stopped themselves. Like, wait a minute, we're gonna bring this game back out in 2023? Nope, we need to rebuild this. We need to rebuild this from the ground up. We got to do some improvements around here. We can't take a game from the 90s and then expect a game from the 90s and then expect it. I mean, leave it the same and then bring it in 2023 and then thinking, oh, it's gonna work. Nah. They should have rebuilt that game from the ground up and then take it from there. Just imagine the GoldenEye with the Unreal Engine 5 in it. Yeah, that's more like it. You know, the water should be moving on the damn scene alone. The water should be moving like how Arkham Knight has it. So, yeah, that's what they should have done, man. And go on from there. Rebuilt that game from the ground up. They would have had a better result, you know, because people that are playing it now is like, what? I'm seeing the reactions on YouTube right now, and I'm just like sitting there shaking my head, just laughing like, I told you so. I told you it was gonna be boring on the Switch. You know, I told you, because that style that it was in on the N64, it worked back then, but in 2023 now, first-person shooters, they need to be in a Call of Duty Battlefield format, man, to stay relevant, man. So going back and then thinking you're gonna take a game and then you leave it as is, and then you add you add a touch of paint, paint on it, and then leave it as is, and then thinking it's gonna work in today's gaming world. Nah, it ain't gonna work. So they needed to rebuild that game from the ground up, man, and put it in a Call of Duty format where it's a 6-on-6 and people got their own screens. They can see the entire map, and you know, it's just, and then go on from there. You know, it would have worked, man. It would have worked, but They didn't do it, and that's why the game is in the state that it is right now. And when it comes to the Avengers now, it's your freedom of movement. That's the problem with that game. You can't fly to the top of a building. You can't fly to the top of to the clouds. You can't do a free fall. You can't fly around the buildings or through the buildings. You know, there's none of that. You can't jump up the buildings. You know what I'm saying? You can't jump off the buildings and then fall. Jump off the buildings and then, like, you know, do a free fall or whatever. So they went. Crystal Dynamics now, they went against what WB Games did, and they're paying the price for it. So yeah, going backwards in video games and nostalgia, it is completely dead. Anyway, leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.